Well, let's get a move on and find out what exactly the latest outlook is with respect to IRB infrastructure. Do remember, you've got Ferrovial, which is going to acquire about 24% stake in the InvIT of IRB Infra. Let's understand a little bit more about the business from Anil Yadav, Director at IRB Infrastructure. Thanks so much for taking time out. To begin with, can you just tell us a little bit more about Ferrovial acquiring stake of GIC affiliates and any willing buyer, if there is, and what is there in terms of the strategy to monetize via the SPV?
Good morning. And with respect to this deal, Ferrovial acquiring 24% in the private investment, right? And if I will touch upon the numbers, they will be acquiring roughly 24% at total value. What they will be paying will be roughly 6,600 crores. And as of March 31st, 2023, the private InvIT only had 10 assets. So 10 assets they are acquiring at fair market value, and balance 5 assets at the invested equity. And the valuation for 10 assets translates roughly 4,600 crores. And if you look at the 100% valuation, that will be close to 19,000 crores for the 10 assets. And there is a similar kind of equity will be invested in the balance 5 asset. And this deal is happening at almost 2.5 price to book for the 10 assets. And if we apply the similar kind of yardstick, because the balance 5 assets are having a life higher concession life around 27 to 28 years, but still if we will apply the similar kind of price to book multiple, the valuation for the private InvIT translates roughly 41 to 42,000 crore rupees. Out of that, 51% is the share of IRB. So roughly the share of IRB in the private InvIT is ranging from 22 to 24,000 crores, depending upon the price to book multiple what we take for the private InvIT.
The consideration here in terms of understanding the valuation, is it future cash flow? Is it what's been the consideration to understand the benchmark?
I think this is the deal between Sovereign Wealth Fund GIC and the Ferrovial. And what we have understand from them, it's that the 10 assets they are buying on the basis of the valuation, which is exactly what you have mentioned, DCF of future cash flow. And 5 assets they are buying at invested equity, because when they have started the stock, at that time the trust only had the 10 asset. And the rest asset which were added during the year, they are buying at the invested equity.
So what will happen to the book value of IRB? Because IRB also has ownership in these assets. Post this deal, what happens to the total value of IRB, the holding company?
Yeah, so IRB, if you look at last balance sheet date, the investment was close to 40 billion in the private InvIT. And by end of this financial year, the total investment of IRB in the private InvIT will be close to 80 billion. If I apply the kind of 2.5 price to book multiple, or the 5 assets that are having a life of 27, 28 years as against the 10 assets of only 20 years of life, then that valuation ranges for IRB around 22 to 24,000 crores.
This for our viewers. These were assets where GIC had taken stake, and now GIC is selling stake back to Ferrovial, and that has been done at a substantial premium to what it was when GIC had invested. Can I make it sound, can I break it up simply?
Yes, so basically, if you remember 2 years back, Ferrovial and the GIC has invested in the holding company. In the holding company, the stake of Ferrovial is around 24.86%, and GIC is close to 20%. And all the BOT and TOT projects are getting executed through private InvIT. So Ferrovial wanted to invest more, because there is no additional capital required at holding company level. They decided to buy the stake, and they are buying the stake from the GIC, and almost it translates 2.5 to 3 times kind of value for GIC what they have invested. So they have invested around 38 billion to begin with for this 9 assets, and today they are getting close to 45 billion. They have invested for 49. They have got a 49% stake, and now they are selling only 24% stake. So almost 2 times, more than 2 times priced what amount they have invested, they are getting out of this deal.
And how do minority shareholders gain of IRB because of this?
I think minority shareholders will gain on two accounts. One is it demonstrated as you rightly mentioned, it demonstrated the valuation of private InvIT in books of IRB, because there is a deal happening on that aspect. And if you look at the analyst, what value they provide, this deal is almost 25-30% premium than what they are value ascribing to the private InvIT. And now coming to the other aspect, Ferrovial being a technical partner, they have expertise, global expertise. And going forward, we believe that in India also there will be some complex project which will be coming. So there the Ferrovial's experience global will help us to execute those projects and even estimate the revenue more reliably.
Great to have you then today on the show. Anil, thanks so much as always for taking the time out.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.